Most developers running Claude Code agents have absolutely no idea what those agents are doing right now. You fire off a task, the terminal blinks, and then nothing. You wait. Maybe it finishes. Maybe it loops. Maybe it silently fails 3 steps in and you only find out 20 minutes later when you check back. That is the default experience. And if you are running 5 or 10 agents in parallel, it gets worse fast. Agents Observe changes that. It is a real-time observability dashboard built specifically for Claude Code agent teams, and the core idea is simple. Instead of flying blind, you get a live view of every agent, every task, every file it touched, every tool call it made all at once, updating as it happens. Here is what that looks like in practice. You spin up 3 Claude Code agents on 3 different features. Normally you have 3 terminals, no structure, no overview. With Agents Observe, you open one dashboard and you see all 3 simultaneously. Each agent has its own row, current status, what task it is executing, how many tool calls it has made, whether it is in an active loop or waiting. When an agent writes a file, you see it. When it calls a shell command, you see it. When it fails, you see it immediately, not when you happen to glance at the terminal. The tool hooks into Claude Code's event stream. It listens to the agent process output, parses structured events, and renders them in a web UI that refreshes in real time. No external API calls. No cloud dependency. It runs locally, which matters for anyone working with proprietary codebases. But here is the thing, there are real limits here, and they matter. Agents Observe is a viewer, not a controller. You can watch agents, but you cannot pause them, redirect them, or intervene mid-task from the dashboard. If an agent goes down a bad path, you are still going to the terminal to stop it. The dashboard has no concept of dependencies between agents. It does not know that Agent 2 should wait for Agent 1 to finish a shared module before proceeding. You are also limited to Claude Code specifically. This is not a general-purpose agent monitoring tool. LangChain agents, AutoGPT, Crew AI, none of those work here without significant modification. And the setup requires some technical comfort. This is a GitHub project, not a packaged product. You clone it, you configure it, you run it. If you are not comfortable with node and terminal setup, the barrier is real. What surprised me was how much just having visibility changes your workflow. When you can see an agent spinning on a task it is clearly stuck on, you intervene faster. You stop wasting tokens on failed loops. That alone has a practical value that is hard to quantify until you experience it. Now, where could this go? The most obvious extension is intervention controls, not just watching, but being able to inject a message or a correction into a running agent session directly from the dashboard. That would turn this from a monitoring tool into an actual copilot panel. A second plausible direction is agent dependency graphs, a visual layer that lets you define which agents should wait for which outputs before starting. Right now that coordination happens in your head or in a separate script. Bringing it into the dashboard would make multi-agent workflows genuinely manageable for larger teams. And if you are deploying agent teams on cloud infrastructure, something like DigitalOcean, a hosted version of this dashboard with authentication could become a real team tool, not just a solo developer utility. So why does this exist at all? Because multi-agent development hit a wall that tooling has not caught up with yet. Claude Code became capable enough that developers started running multiple instances in parallel to move faster. But the monitoring infrastructure everyone takes for granted in production software, logs, dashboards, alerts, none of that existed for local agent teams. Developers were basically doing what you do when you are debugging in the dark, adding print statements and hoping. The creator of Agents Observe, working under the GitHub handle Simple10, built this to solve a problem they were hitting personally. That is the cleanest origin story for a developer tool, not a startup idea, not a product hunt launch, just a developer who got frustrated enough to build the thing that should have existed already. Does it win? For solo developers running Claude Code in parallel, yes, immediately useful, low friction once set up, concrete value from day one. For teams or anyone needing cross-agent coordination, it is early. But the foundation is the right one. Real-time observability for coding agents is not optional as these workflows get more complex. It is just that most people have not hit that wall yet. If you are already running multiple Claude Code sessions and feel like you are flying blind, the GitHub link is in the description. Next episode, we are looking at a tool that takes agent output and automatically routes it into structured code review pipelines, the piece that comes after the agents finish. Subscribe so you do not miss it.